Morning students, how are you all? Hope you all are safe and fine at your home. So students, welcome back in your mathematics class. This is class 9th. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 10, chapter name circles. This is your lecture 1. So students, in this lecture we will discuss about introduction part. We will discuss all the definitions with the theorem 10.1 and 10.2. So students, start your new chapter circle with the definition of circle. So student, now the question is, what is circle? When we have a fixed point like this and we have other different points which are present at a fixed distance from this point, these points are present at a fixed distance. So the collection of all those points present in a plane, the collection of all those points present in a plane which are at a fixed distance from a fixed point in the plane, we called it as circle. It means, what is the definition of the circle? The collection of all points which are present at fixed distance from a fixed point, so we call them as circle. So students, we call it as point O, which is as the fixed point is called as the center of the circle, and this fixed distance is called the radius of the circle. The line segment joining the center, in a circle, any point which is joining the center and the circumference of the circle is the radius of the circle. They all are radius of circle. So student, next point is a circle in which parts divide this plane. A circle divides the plane in 3 parts. A circle divides the plane in 3 parts. First is interior, second is exterior, and third one is circle. So students, this circle divides this plane into 3 parts. First is interior part, which is this interior part. Second one is exterior part, and third one is this boundary, the circumference of the circle. So the definition of the circle is collection of all the points in a plane which are at fixed distance from a fixed point in a plane is called a circle, and a circle divides the plane into 3 parts. Students, second definition is circular region. Now the question is, what is circular region? The circle and its interior part make a circular region. The combination of this circle and the interior part is called the circular region. Next definition is chord. Now what is chord? When we have a circle like this and 2 points, point O and Q, are present on the circumference of the circle, when we will meet these 2 points, so this line segment PQ is called the chord of circle. The chord which passes through the center of the circle, and we called it as diameter also. This is also a chord, this is also a chord, this is also a chord. So now the question is it compulsory that when a line segment passes through the center of the circle, then it become a chord? No. When we have a circle and 2 points P and Q like this, and they are not passing through the center of the circle, but still it is a chord. So the definition of chord is when 2 points are present on the circumference of the circle and we will meet them, so that line segment is called the chord of the circle, and the longest chord of the circle is the diameter. Longest chord of the circle is the diameter. How many chords are present in a circle? Indefinitely many. Next definition is arc. What is arc? So students, when we have a circle and this is the center of the circle, this is radius. If we have some points on the circumference of the circle P1, P2, P3, P4, a continuous piece of a circle is called an arc of the circle. A continuous piece of the circle is an arc of circle. Like P1, P2 is an arc of the circle. P2, P3 is another arc of the circle. P1, P3 is also another arc of circle. So students, a continuous piece of a circle is called an arc. We have 2 points P1 and P2 and this is the continuous part of the circle. We called it as arc. So students, how we will write an arc? P1, P2 and like this. This is a sign of arc. We will write an arc like this. Now students, we have two different parts of arc. One is minor arc, second one is major arc. We have two parts of arc is minor and major. So what is the definition of minor arc and major arc? A minor arc of a circle is the collection of those points of a circle which lie on and also inside the central angle. So now the question is, what is central angle? So first of all, before discussing the definition of these two arcs, we will discuss what is central angle. If we will join this also, if we will take it as R and S, we will call it as angle ROS is the central angle with the radius RO and OS with the center O. This is our central angle. So what is the definition of minor arc? Minor arc is an arc of the circle which is the collection of those points which are present and lie on the inside of the central angle. So students, if we are talking about any continuous part of inside of this central angle, we called it as minor arc. It is not necessary the central angle is always lie like this. If we will take another circle, this is also a central angle. This is also a central angle. So a arc which is present inside a central angle, we called it as minor arc. And what about major arc? A major arc of a circle is the collection of all those points of the circle which lie on or outside the central angle. It means they all are the example of major arc. And we both write both the arcs write like this only. There is no difference between their written form. So we have arc with the two parts, minor and major. We can do one thing when we are talking about minor and major in a circle. If we are talking about this, then we like this, write like this. If we are talking about the arc P1 and P4, so we can take one more point in between them. We will write like this. If we are talking about only a small piece, then we will like this. If we are taking a large piece, then we will take one more between point. Choice is yours. You can take P2 as well as P3. What is semicircle? The definition of semicircle is when a diameter, this is center O, this is a diameter, the longest chord PQ. When a diameter of a circle divides the circle into two equal parts, it means in two equal arcs. Each of those arcs is called semicircle. Now the next definition is, definition number 6 is segment. And we have two parts of a segment, major segment and minor segment. So students, what is the definition of a segment? When in a circle we have a chord PQ. When in a circle we have a chord PQ. This chord PQ with the center O, PQ divides the circular region into two parts. PQ divides the circular region into two parts. Each part is called segment. Now the question is, what is major segment and what is minor segment? The segment which containing the minor arc is called minor segment. This is our minor segment. The segment which containing the major arc, then we called it as major segment. So what is segment? When a chord PQ divides the circular region into two parts, we called it as both part as segment. With the smaller arc we called it as minor segment. With the major arc we called it as major segment. We can write the definition of a segment in another way. The second way of writing the definition of a segment is area enclosed between one chord and arc of the circle is called segment. I am again repeating. Area enclosed between a chord and a arc of the circle is called segment of the circle. Next definition is sector. So what is sector? When we have a circle and we have a center O here with two radius OP and OQ. So the region enclosed between a arc and two radius is called sector of the circle. Similarly, sector has two parts, minor and major. It means minor sector and major sector. So the area enclosed between two radius and the minor arc is called minor sector, and the area enclosed between, this is also an area enclosed between one arc and two radius, because we have major arc here, so we called it as major segment. So students, after all the definitions we revised, we will do a topic 10.3 from your NCERT up to 10.2. all the definitions are already covered. Topic 10.3 topic is angle subtended by a chord at a point. First of all, it is a new thing for you. You have to understand the meaning of this topic. Angle subtended. Subtended means made, banana. Angle subtended by a chord at a point. When we have a circle and this is our center, this is a chord, this is center O, this is a chord PQ. Angle subtended by a chord at a point or at a center. Angle subtended by a chord at a center, this is the angle. This angle subtended by this chord at a center, and this angle subtended by a chord at any another point on the circumference of the circle. So angle 1 is subtended by the chord at the center of the circle. Angle 2 is subtended by the chord PQ at the circumference of the circle. So under this topic, angle subtended by the chord, we have two theorems, theorem 10.1 and 10.2. Now we will discuss these two theorems. So student, this is a statement of theorem 10.1. The first theorem of this chapter. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at center. So you have to understand what is given and what we have to prove. Equal chords of a circle. It means it is given that we have two equal chords of a circle. Subtend means banana. Equal angles at center. They are making equal angles at center. Angles means two different angles at the center of circle. So first of all, we have to draw a diagram with a center O. We have two different chords like this, chord PQ and AB. We have two chords PQ and AB, and they are equal according to the given statement. And these two angles they are making at the center of circle. These two angles are making at the center of circle. This is angle 1, this is angle 2. We will mark them as 1 and 2. Now first of all we have to write what is given. Chords are equal, PQ is equal AB. Chords are equal, given. We have to prove what we have to prove? Angle 1 is equal angle 2. We have to prove that angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other. Now proof. In proof, we will take these two triangles and try to congruent these two triangles, because if these two triangles are congruent, then automatically corresponding parts are equal and both the angles are also equal. So we will try about congruency. First of all, how we will write? In triangle POQ and triangle AOB, we will write the proper name of both triangles. Now we will find three elements for the congruency. First, PQ is equal to AB. How they both are equal to each other? It is given. And PO is equal to AO. Yes students, think why they both are equal to each other. Try to think. Okay, I will give you an answer. They both are equal because they both are radius of same circle. They both are equal to each other because they both are radius of same circle. And the next question always student put that why I choose PO and AO, because OQ and OB both are also the radius of the circle, because we always take corresponding parts in the congruency. In these two triangles, PO is corresponding to AO. PO is corresponding to AO. Similarly, we will take the another radius OQ is equal to OB, radius of same circle. So students, by SSS congruence rule, we have both the triangle POQ is congruent to triangle AOB. These two triangles are congruent by SSS congruence rule. If these two triangles are congruent, then angle 1 is equal to angle 2 by CP/CT. Now theorem is proved. So students, it is very easy. We proved this theorem with only congruency, and you know the congruency very well because in the all previous geometry chapters like chapter number 7, 8, 9, we always use congruency. Now the next theorem, theorem 10.2. So student, this is your statement of second theorem, theorem 10.2. If the angles subtended by the chords of a circle at the center are equal, then the chords are equal. So what is given? You understand? Read it again. If the angles subtended by the chords, it means angles subtended by the chords, angles making by chords of a circle at the center are equal. It means angles subtended by two chords at the center of the circle are equal. It is given. Then we have to prove that chords are also equal. So first of all, we will draw a diagram. Again, this is center O. This is a chord P, Q, and this is another chord A, B. Now, this is our first triangle. This is our second triangle, and this is angle 1 and angle 2 subtended by these two chords. So what is given to us, students? Angles subtended by two chords at the center of the circle are equal. It is given to us. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. To prove, we have to prove that chords are equal. We have to prove that chords are equal. If you are understanding correctly, then you recognized now that the theorem 10.2 is exactly the converse of theorem 10.1. Is exactly the converse of theorem 10.1. So students, we will start our proof like theorem 10.1. First of all, we have to take two triangles in triangle POQ and triangle BOA. POQ and BOA. Now in these two triangles we need congruency. Then we need three elements. First of all, angle 1 is equal to angle 2. How they are equal to each other? Given. PO is equal to BO, radius of same circle, and OQ is equal to OA, same reason, radius of same circle. So students, so that by SAS congruence rule, we have both the triangle POQ is congruent to triangle BOA, is congruent to triangle BOA. So students, these two triangles are congruent, then definitely by CPCT we can take PQ is equal AB by CPCT. Now the theorem is proved. So student, with this theorem today's lecture is finished. So in today's lecture we will discuss how many things we discussed in this lecture. First of all, we discussed the definition of circle, then we discussed the all the parts and all the definitions of circle which is related to circle, and then we discussed two theorems, theorem 10.1 and 10.2. So students, now today's homework. So students, today's maths homework, write and learn all the definitions. You have to write all the definitions which I discussed in this lecture in your homework notebook, and you have to learn also. Do theorems also. You have to do both the theorem 10.1 and 10.2 from this lecture, otherwise from your NCERT in your homework notebook. So this is your complete today's lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.